Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Okay, first of all, to start off today's show, the shows I told you we would have on today are actually Monday shows. So, I boo-booed. I recorded the whole show promoting the wrong shows for today. Tomorrow, we will have Rudy Valley and the Lux Radio Theater and Claudia. And it'll be the last show of the series for Claudia. I didn't know that the show came to an end quite that early, but it did. But we are going to talk today, a comedy day on Sunday, of Jimmy Durante, The Great Gildersleeve, My Favorite Husband, Abbott and Costello, and an episode of Blum and Abner. That's all coming up on this Sunday. This is the 24th day of March, 84th day of the year, 282 days remaining till we get to 2025. The Metropolitan Life Insurance Company, formed on this date in 1868. We see the Peanuts gang still promoting MetLife today. In 1882, Robert Koch announced the discovery of the bacterium responsible for tuberculosis. In 1900, New York City Mayor Robert Anderson Van Wyck broke ground for a new underground rapid transit railroad that would link Manhattan and Brooklyn. Subway. In an event later dramatized in the movie The Great Escape on this date in 1944, 76 prisoners began breaking out of Stalag Luft 3. In 1969, NASA spacecraft Ranger 9, equipped to convert its signals into a form suitable for showing on domestic television, brought images of the moon into ordinary homes before it crash-landed. The Reagan administration on this date in 1986 said U.S. naval forces launched attacks against the Libyan missile site and against Libyan patrol vessels during the overnight hours and during the day. The attacks followed missile firings by Libya at U.S. battleships operating in international waters.
We were fired on and hostile acts committed by very lethal missiles while we were in international waters by Libyan forces, and we have responded.
American officials said the Sixth Fleet in the Mediterranean Sea had destroyed 2 Libyan missile patrol boats and had struck a missile site on the coast. It was on this date in 1989, the Exxon Valdez oil tanker ran aground in Alaska's Prince William Sound. Over 240 barrels of oil leaked from the vessel.
Yeah, it's Valdez back. Should be on your radar there. We've fetched up hard to ground north of Goose Island off Boy Reef. And evidently leaking some oil. And we're going to be here for a while. And if you want to
Captain Joseph Hazelwood told the Coast Guard after the ship ran aground he intended to free the tanker. Coast Guard Commander Stephen McCall told him by a radio, not a good idea.
Before you make any drastic attempt to get underway, you make sure you don't, start doing any ripping. I wouldn't recommend doing much wiggling. Over.
Hazelwood would be convicted of a lesser charge, negligent discharge of oil, a misdemeanor, fined $50,000, and sentenced to 1,000 hours of community service. In 2002, Halle Berry became the first African-American performer to win a Best Actress Oscar for Monsters Ball. In 2003, the Arab League voted 21-1 in favor of a resolution demanding the immediate and unconditional removal of U.S. and British forces from Iraq. And it was on this date in 2012, former Vice President Dick Cheney underwent a heart transplant at a Virginia hospital. Passing away on this date in history, England's Queen Elizabeth I, Also, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, the author Jules Verne, actor Sam Jaffe, comedian Ray Goulding of Bob and Ray fame, Harold Melvin of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes passing away on this date, actor Richard Widmark, actor Robert Culp, also the very funny Gary Shandling, and Jessica Walter, probably best remembered for Play Misty for Me, and she won an Emmy Award for the television program Amy Prentice. Now, birthdays on this date include the magician Harry Houdini, also politician Thomas Dewey, crime figure Clyde Barrow of Bonnie and Clyde fame, cartoonist Joseph Barbera of the Hanna-Barbera Cartoon Studios, pro wrestler Gorgeous George, who really changed the entire face of professional wrestling with his flamboyant style, actor Gene Nelson, actor Norman Thell, best remembered from Three's Company and the Ropers as Mr. Roper, actor Steve McQueen, singer Billy Stewart, the gentleman known as the Spoiler, Don Jardine, and comedian Louis Anderson, all born on this date, and they have gone on to their reward.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
The man who sang that it was cruel to be kind, Nick Lowe, 75 today. Fashion designer Tommy Hilfiger is 73. You remember him as Louis Skolnick in Revenge of the Nerds. Robert Carradine is 70. And from Saturday Night Fever and the television show Angie, Donna Pascal is 70 as well. Several pro wrestlers today, including a guy who is still wrestling at the age of 65. He didn't win many matches, but he was what they called in the business a carpenter. He helped put together good matches. Barry Horowitz, 65 today. From Weird Science, Kelly LeBrock, 64. She sang about those 99 red balloons. Nina, the German singer, is 64 today. Laura Flynn Boyle from Twin Peaks, 54 today. Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, Jim Parsons, is 51. She was Willow on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You also knew her from How I Met Your Mother. Allison Hannigan is 50 today. Actress Jessica Chastain is 46. And a bunch of wrestlers celebrating birthdays today, including the man who told you to rest in peace, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, 59, and he's been married for 14 years to another pro wrestler, Michelle McCool. This is not her birthday, but she's 45. Also, other wrestlers include the man known as Jake Hager these days. He was Jack Swagger when he held the WWF Championship. He is 42 and still in mixed martial arts. The lady who is still married to Miro, but not for long, C.J. Perry, Lana, 39 years of age, and Lacey Evans, formerly of the WWE, she was released not long ago, she is 34 years of age. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 24th day of March as their birthday. If this is your birthday,
happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Now on this Sunday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we're going to go back 76 years to March 24th, 1948, and an episode of the Jimmy Durante Show. That's next. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Daily, the broadcasts of Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia strike through the Iron Curtain, bringing the truth about the free world to the captive peoples behind it. Help send a message by giving to the 1952 Crusade for Freedom.
And on this Sunday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, a funny Sunday, we're going to have now an episode of the Jimmy Durante Show, along with his regular guest, Victor Moore, and of course, Candy Candido and Arthur Treacher and all the great gang, 76 years ago, March 24th, 1948.
Good health to all from Rexall. From Hollywood, it's the Jimmy Durante Show.
A-dink-a-dink, a-dink-a-doo, a-dink-a-dink. Oh, 1, 2, 4. A-dink-a-dink, a-dink-a-doo.
Yes, 10,000 Rexall drugstores who carry the complete line of top-quality Rexall drug products bring you the Jimmy Durante Show with Peggy Lee, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, the Crew Chiefs Quartet, yours truly, Howard Petrie, and our cuddlesome Casanova, Victor Moore. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man who last week relinquished his time on the air so the president could speak. The one and only Jimmy Durante, in person.
Start off each day with a song.
And furthermore, my constituent,
Even when things go wrong.
and I shall go before Congress.
You feel better, you even look better.
We will lower taxes, raise the tariff, and equalize the status quo.
Please, Mr. Truman. You took my place last week. I gotta make a living, too.
Gosh, Jimmy, it must have been quite a surprise for a lot of people tuning in last week and hearing the president instead of you. Tell me, how did the president do?
I guess he didn't get enough laughs. He only lasted 1 week. If Harry's nose was 2 inches longer, my job would be in jeopardy.
Well, it's good to have you back, Jim. When you were off the air last week, the airwaves just weren't the same. I missed your vivacious personality and lovable bon mots.
Get used to him, folks. This guy's in radio to stay.
Schnoz, you're gayer than this season's Easter bonnet.
Why shouldn't I be, Howard? It's spring. I can always tell when it's spring. John L. Lewis comes up out of the ground.
Hey, Schnoz, before we go any further, I wish you'd enlighten me on the presidential situation. It gets more confusing every day. First, they wanted to draft Eisenhower, then they called for Stassen, then they called for Bricker.
Yeah, Howard, and now the confusion is even more confusing. Listen to the latest candidate they're calling for.
Call for Philip Mulroney.
He won't make much of a president, but he'll come in handy for emptying ashtrays around the White House. This candidate is so short he has to put on elevator shoes to sit down.
Say, what else is new on the political horizon, Jimmy? I understand the South is thinking about putting up their own candidate. In your opinion, who would it be?
Well, the governor of That word always mixes me up. Well, the governor of Alabama might have a chance if his lips hold out. I always want to say Alhambra. But I'm not worried about him, Howard, because when the people hear about the cabinet I've got lined up, I'm a cinch to get elected.
Why, whom have you got in your cabinet, Jimmy?
Listen to this lineup. Secretary of State, Esther Williams. Secretary of the Treasury, Dorothy Lamour. Secretary of the Interior, Greer Garson. And Postmaster General, Durante.
Jimmy, you mean you're going to take care of the males?
Definitely not. With a cabinet like that, I'll be too busy taking care of the females. Boy, will I enjoy playing post office.
Schnoz, you're a ladies' man, and you'll get the vote of every woman in the country.
Indubitably so, Howard, because I've got a plan that will improve domestic relations 97%.
What's your suggestion, Jim?
From now on, before retiring, women got to stop putting their hair up in little pieces of paper tied with strings.
Why?
How can a guy be romantic when his wife looks like 20 cents worth of tea bags? And now, in keeping with my democratic principles, I'm throwing the floor open to discussion. If there's anybody in this audience that's got anything to say, I want them to come right out and say it.
Mr. Durante, I've listened to your half-brain ideas, and in my opinion, you're a political nincompoop, a pipsqueak, and an out-and-out phony.
That'll teach him to beat around the bush.
Schnoz, I'm afraid the strain of the campaign is beginning to show on you. Have you ever thought about a vacation?
Have I? I even picked out the place. When it comes to a vacation, I'm a connoisseur. Now's the time to plan your vacation, folks, to get away from all the congestion. But before you make preparation, folks, I'd like to offer you a suggestion. Now, lots of you might prefer Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. But I prefer Pismo Beach where the debris meets the sea. I took a trip there last week, laid down on the sand, fell asleep with my nose waving in the breeze. And what happened? A guy wrapped a bun around it, smeared it with mustard, and sold it 7 times. Looking for a new vacation spot, I walked into a travel bureau. And the clerk tried to sell me a ticket to Alabama, Miami, Malibu, Rome, Alaska, Madagascar, Finland, Italy, and Greece. I said, nothing doing. I'm not going any place I can't get to before Russia does. Suddenly, my eye caught a glimpse of a sign covered with dust that said, See Pocatanta, Mexico, land of the boiled tacos. I felt so sorry for Pocatanta. People were buying tickets to Bermuda, the Catskill Mountains. Some were even buying tickets to Africa for the malaria season. But nobody was buying a ticket to Pocatanta, where the mountains meet the dirt. Go there, fella, if you have to hop your shirt. At night they gather at the square to do the Pocatanta stomp. And the moonlight is so beautiful on miles and miles of swamp. Pocatanta will be famous by and by. Pocatanta, where the gophers go to die. Hear the music of the toad and the cricket in the ticket. If you go, make sure you've got a round-trip ticket. Save your dough and go, go, go to Pocatanta. As we slowly drift into the suburbs of Pocatanta, we find that it is situated on the borderline of Mexico and California. Sometimes Pocatanta's in Mexico, and sometimes it's in California. It's according to which way the wind is blowing. It's a dainty town. It's a petite town. It's a small town where the population's so small the mosquitoes go around biting each other. As we drift closer, believe it or not, they got one grocery store, one drugstore, one clothing store. In fact, that's all they got, one store. They used to have 2 stores, but the mayor of the town likes to whittle. So save your dough and go, go, go to P-O-C-O. Not to Rio, but to Pocatanta.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Yes, you can be sure that more than 2,000 different drug products are pure when they bear the name Rexall. For the familiar name Rexall stands for purity, quality, and reliability in a complete line of drug products. It's no wonder that Rexall has won first place in the medicine cabinets of millions of American homes. So for any and for all of your drug needs, always buy Rexall at Rexall drugstores throughout the nation, where 25% of America buys its drug products.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Mr. Peetley, when you talk about Rexall, your voice is really mellifluous. And I say that with the dictionary in my other suit.
You know, Schnoz, with your diction, I can't understand why you didn't win an Academy Award.
I was foiled by the fickle finger of fate. The last picture I made wasn't even released in time. It was called The Painted Desert Where the Rio Grande Meets the Alamo on the Lone Prairie, Where Cactus Pete Meets 2 Gun Techs in the Saddle by the Sage.
Well, what's it about, Schnoz?
2 medical students in Vienna. But not wanting to disappoint our audience tonight, we're proud to present as a special feature the winner of the Academy Award, Loretta Young.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. You're not Loretta.
I know, but ain't I young?
Why, it's Victor Moore. Victor, seeing you again is très joli. You know, we were separated last week when President Truman spoke, and you were off the show the week before that. How do you feel after 2 weeks vacation?
Jimmy, I'm in the pink. It was just what I needed to bring back the old Victor. I spent every day getting myself in shape. Here, feel a muscle in my arm.
Okay, Victor.
I said feel it, not squeeze it.
Victor, I'd like to put my arms around you. But Dr. Balan warned me not to take any long trips.
Well, you know, Jimmy, I might as well face it. I'm just not as strong as I was when I worked as a chorus boy at the Amsterdam in New York.
Just a minute, Victor. You were in the chorus at the Amsterdam Theater?
That's right.
Third from the end?
Uh-huh.
Were you the one who did the solo in the waterfall number?
Yeah, that was me.
No wonder you didn't answer my MASH notes.
You mean you were Cuddles?
An underplume of my ute. And to think I wasted that perfumed butcher paper on you. But blended from the nostalgia to the inconsequential, tell me, where did you go on your vacation?
Well, Jimmy, the doctor told me to get plenty of rest and drink lots of milk, so I checked into a small hotel and took my cow with me.
How could you get a cow into your hotel room?
Easy. We registered it at Mr. and Mrs.
Must have been a little crowded in the shower.
Well, tell me something, Jimmy. How did the show go the week I was away?
Extemporaneous, Victor, extemporaneous. In your place, we had Van Johnson, the star of the new Metro Golden Mayer picture, The Bride Goes Wild. There's no laugh there, folks, but for saying it, MGM is sending me a free bride that goes wild. But here's somebody who drives me wild every week. It's Peggy Lee.
In person?
Peggy, just like always, it's good to see you.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy. And hi, Victor. I miss my little poopsie pie.
I miss you, too, Peggy Pooh.
Oh, Victor, you're a regular little lammykin.
And you're a cuddle bunny.
Oh, but you're a sugar bunny.
And you're a Dolly Watkins.
If you two miss me, I'm playing gin rummy with a little old lady in the front row. Durante, you're just like parsley on a fish. You look good, but nobody wants you.
You know how I feel about you, Schnoz. It's just that, I don't know, since Victor's vacation, he looks like such a rugged, outdoor type.
I'm the outdoor type, too, Peggy. Partly because I like fresh air and partly because nobody ever invites me in. Why, on my last hunting trip, I trailed an elk for 7 miles, and when I caught up to him, what a tussle.
What happened?
That elk is now wearing 3 of my teeth on his watch chains. I didn't mind that, but he forgot to give me the secret handshake. But enough of this I'll bandage, Peggy. How about a song? We'll sing one?
I'd be glad to, Jamesy. Bolero, Mr. Bargy.
Bolero.
La Rue, La Rue, Lily Bolero. La Rue, La Rue, Lily Bolero. That's a magic saying that I heard one day in Napoli, when a fortune teller in a dim-lit cellar said to me, you say, La Rue, Lily Bolero. And just like that, quick as an arrow, you'll find the boy who's meant for you. And sure enough, it all came true. La Rue, La Rue, Lily Bolero. You say, La Rue, Lily Bolero. And just like that, quick as an arrow, you'll find boy who's meant for you. And sure enough, it all came true. LaRue, LaRue, Lily Bolero. LaRue, LaRue, Lily Bolero.
Here's a 60-second story from the Rexall Laboratory.
How blue is a question that the human eye just can't answer. But it's a question that must be answered in the Rexall Control Laboratory. For in many liquid compounds, the intensity of color determines the amount of vitamin A. And that's when science comes to the rescue of the human eye. The Rexall Control Laboratory uses an instrument called the colorimeter, with an infallible eye in the form of a photoelectric cell. The colorimeter's eye sees all and knows all. It measures the depth of color and the strength of the compound, instantly and accurately. The colorimeter is only one of the many scientific instruments used daily in the great Rexall Control Laboratory. But it's one more reason why you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
So for any and for all of your household drug needs, always buy Rexall. At Rexall drugstores everywhere.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall.
You know, Victor, all this talk about vacations has given me a great idea. I'll use it as the keystone for my political platform.
What are you talking about, Star?
Just this, Victor. If I'm elected, I'm going to give every man, woman, and child in the United States a 2 weeks vacation with all expenses paid. Hello, Durante speaking.
Mr. Durante, I just heard about your 2-week vacation plan, and I think it's great. And now, if you can arrange my vacation, I'm willing to leave right now.
Good. Who is this speaking?
Number 57136, Alcatraz.
I think my party was just hung up.
Jimmy, I don't like to be a wet blanket, but if the government is going to pay for all those vacations, isn't it going to run into a good deal of money?
This man is talking like a Republican. Why, Victor, it's up to us to find an inexpensive place for the people to go. Are you with us, Peggy?
Well, where are we going to go?
We'll make a survey on the vacation situation and give our report to the nation. Let's go. Any state in the 48 is great.
The 48 is great, and any state is a reason we should celebrate.
We ought to celebrate, and if you are wishing for hunting or fishing, don't consult any chart.
We've got a nation that's full of relaxation.
Jimmy, I'm ready to start.
We've a magic carpet to take this trip.
We pull a string and away we rip.
Victor, Peggy, how do you like my magic carpet?
Ah, terrific, Jimmy. How much did it cost you?
$8,000.
$8,000? How come it costs so much for a magic carpet?
I bought it from a used carpet dealer. I got $1 million of them, $1 million. Any state in the 48 is great.
Gee, I have no idea where we are now.
Don't let it bother you, Victor. You'll know soon enough.
Hey, I know that town.
It's Wisconsin.
And the city is called Green Bay.
They say it's famous for football.
That's not the only reason.
It's also famous for its hunting season.
You can hunt wild duck, bear, and pheasant.
Spend a day that's really pleasant
in Green Bay.
Well, there's your first vacation spot, fellas. Go on down and see if that's what you're looking for. I'll pick you up on the next cadenza.
Come on, Victor, let's go.
Jimmy, this is an awful wild-looking country. Do you think we can find our way out of here?
Don't worry, Victor. I've arranged for the best guide in Wisconsin to meet us here. Hey, Schultz.
Yo-leo! Hello!
This is where you told us to meet you. Where are we, anyway?
Well, let me see now. Wisconsin is bounded on the south by Lake Rauster, on the east by Lake Brauster, and on the other side by Lake Grauster. Now, according to the calculations which is accumulated on my compass, we are 44 degrees east of latitude 16, longitude 38.
What does all that mean?
We're lost.
I think we picked the wrong spot, Victor. How can I tell the voters to come here? Why, there isn't even any food.
You're wrong, Jimmy. Look at that clump of bushes over there. I can see the antlers of a moose. You like moose meat, Jimmy?
Sure.
You like it rare?
That's the way I like it.
Good. I'll run into the bush, chase out the moose, and when he runs by...
Yes?
Bite him.
Good, I can use his tail for a napkin.
Yeah.
Look out, Victor, look out. Look out, that moose is coming towards us.
Out! Oh, Jimmy! You ran right between my legs and his antlers stuck on my pants.
What a catastrophe. But don't worry, Victor. We'll have your pants stuffed and set them up in the hallway.
What good will that do?
You'll have the biggest hat rack in Wisconsin. Let's go. Any state in the 48 is great.
Say, there's a town, but it's all lit up. Let's keep going.
Hey, not so fast, man. Down there's a real relaxing town.
Do you know where we are, Peggy?
Do I? Yes. That's Las Vegas, Nevada, and it doesn't matter if you're rich or broke.
You spend and you lend, you make many a friend.
This town's okey-doke.
You play at roulette.
Gee, should I make a bet?
The name of the town is
Las Vegas.
Go on, fellas, see if you can relax a little. I'll be waiting on the downbeat. But watch it now. No gambling.
Don't worry about us, Peggy. Come on, Victor. Las Vegas, what a town. Where men are men and women are women. Which is a pretty nice arrangement on those long winter nights.
Gosh, Jimmy, just think. Here in Las Vegas, we could get a divorce in 6 weeks.
Why, Victor, how can you say that? We've been so happy together.
Well, let's go into this casino here and get on with our vacation survey.
Okay, lead the way. Pardon me, stranger, I'm Jimmy Durante, candidate for vice presidency. Tell me, is this a good spot for an inexpensive vacation?
Why, this is Las Vegas, partner. Not only do you save money here, you make money. Just put a nickel in that slot machine and see what you win.
All right, here goes. Wait a minute. What's going on here? This is an outrage. I'll smash this machine to pieces.
Hold on there, stranger. Wait a minute. What are you smashing up my machine for?
It's crooked. I just hit 2 cherries, 3 oranges, and 3 plums, and all that came out was nickels.
Well, what about it?
When Durante wins a fruit salad, he expects to get it.
Look, buzzard beak. If you know what's good for you, you'll scram out of here.
Now, just a minute, buddy. You're talking to a friend of mine. I don't like the tone of your voice. Or I'd let you have it if it wasn't for one thing.
Yeah? What's that?
I forgot where I put it.
We're off again. Any state in the 48 is great.
Say, you two fellas have the wrong idea. If you want an inexpensive vacation, the cheapest sport is fishing.
Yeah, all you need is a rod and a bent pen.
Well, do you know a good spot, Victor?
Not only do I know the spot, we're here already.
We're in Wiggleworm,
West Virginia,
where the fish are fat and the worms ain't skinny.
See how all the fish will fight
to see which one gets the first bite.
Oh, Wiggleworm.
Ah, there's the spot, fellas. Why, the people around here are so lazy the fish are baiting the hooks themselves. I'll meet you at the intermezzo.
Down we go, Victor. Gosh, the public will love this place.
Yeah, we've only been here 5 minutes and we got 2 fish already.
Hey, you two. Can't you see that sign? No fishing allowed.
We weren't fishing, Mr. Game Warden.
Oh, no. Then how did those 2 fish get in your frying pan?
Suicide pact. The little one had a hard life. She was married to a pickled herring.
Oh, yeah? Well, those 2 fish are under 14 inches. Throw them back. The next time I catch you pulling them in under 14 inches, I'll give you a summons.
Rowdy.
Oh, hey, Jimmy, look. Beautiful girl just came up out of the lake onto the shore.
You're right, Victor. This is amazing.
Relax, boys. It's hot breath Houlihan.
Stand back. You're starting a brush fire in my sideburns. But wait a minute, hot breath. How tall are you?
5'4.5".
Thank goodness. For a minute, I thought I'd have to throw you back.
I've been doing a little fishing myself. I've been fishing for suckers.
Did you have any luck?
You're the third today. But, I kind of like your flute snoot. And, you too, lover lips.
It gets around.
Say you there with a beak. You do something to me.
I do?
Yeah. You know, Muscles, looking at you does something to me. You're the first man that's ever been in these mountains. Kiss me, you beast. There. What have you got to say now?
Somebody has been in these mountains before. Victor, that completes our survey. No matter where you go in this country, you can have a good time. Take me home. Any state in the 48 is great.
Green Bay.
Las Vegas.
You can travel north, south, east, or west.
No matter what you want, you sure to get the best.
It's great.
Wonderful.
Marvelous.
Stupendous.
Any state in the 48 is great. Good health to all from Rexall. We hope you're feeling fine. So always call for Rexall where you see the Rexall sign.
Remember, 25% of America buys its drug needs in Rexall drugstores. Rexall is that large and respected family of more than 2,000 different drug products. You can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall, available in Rexall drugstores everywhere.
Touche, Howard, and I'd like to add, I do my shopping at a Rexall store, buying Rexall drugs, and furthermore, Umbriago, he prefers them too. We buy Rexall, that's all. How do you do? Now who'll be with you when we're far away? When you're far, let me hear that high note, high note. What a note.
An exhilarating note, Mr. Durante.
A note of exuberance, Mr. Petrie.
Well, Jim, I guess you're all set for the Easter parade on Sunday.
I'll say, Howard, I hope I make the impression I made last year. Why, I was the picture of sartorial splendor. I even used adhesive tape to hold up my socks.
Well, Jim, why did you use adhesive tape?
Thumbtacks hurt.
Well, Rexall for tonight, folks. From Victor Moore, Peggy Lee, Roy Bargy, the Crew Chief Quartet, Dave Barry, and yours truly, Howard Petrie.
Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
This program was produced and directed by Phil Cohan. Good health to all from Rexall.
Good night, folks. Have a happy Easter.
76 years ago, March 24th, 1948, the Jimmy Durante Show. Up next, the second Gildersleeve, as we have an episode of the Willard Waterman helmed The Great Gildersleeve from 1954. And that is next. Now, I know tomorrow, because tomorrow is the 25th, we will have Rudy Valley and the Royal Gelatin Hour, and that's going all the way back 87 years to 1937. We'll also have the Lux Radio Theater from 84 years ago, and Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, and as they reprise their roles from the 1939 motion picture Remember the Night. And we will also have the final episode of Claudia, and that'll all be coming up on tomorrow's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on Monday. Yes, I make mistakes. I make more than I care to admit. Website, classicradio.stream. Now, let's check out the Great Gildersleeve and see what's going on in Summerfield with the second Gildersleeve. This episode from 70 years ago, March 24th, 1954.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, makers of the famous pasteurized processed cheese food Velveeta. Velveeta is one of the most popular of all members of the Kraft family of fine foods. It's known to folks everywhere as the cheese food of exceptional nourishment and delightful flavor. Enjoy it often. When you do, you may be sure you're enjoying the finest quality cheese food you can buy. Velveeta, made only by Kraft.
I'm Grace Tuttle. As a school teacher in Summerfield, my time is taken up by many interesting projects. Right now, it's the hobby show, which I'm sponsoring in the school gymnasium. Of course, a lot of my time is also taken up by two of the town's eligible bachelors. Oh, excuse me, the most eligible ones at the door.
Hello, Grace.
Oh, hello, Throckmorton. Come in.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry I'm late, but I had to help Leroy prepare for a Boy Scout test.
As soon as you catch your breath, I have another little job for you.
Girl Scouts?
No, I have to work up some signs for the hobby show.
Hobby show?
Yes, I need a sign for each booth, and you're the one to paint them.
I have a hobby we don't have to paint a sign for. There's a full moon going to waste over the reservoir.
Now, Throckmorton.
Well, I thought we might take a little drive this evening. After all, spring is officially here.
You just feel like it's spring.
You bet. Come on, Grace. Bundle up good and we'll go out and enjoy the spring air.
Nuh-uh. I'm going to get these signs painted tonight.
Hee-hee.
Matter of fact, I'm disappointed that you haven't shown more interest in the hobby show.
Well, I've never gone in much for hobbies. Of course, when I was a kid, I used to have a hobby horse.
Yes, come on, grab a paint pot and a brush.
Well, I'll draw a picture of the moon, just to show you what you're missing.
I'm not listening.
Now, here's the moon, and here's the reservoir.
And here's your hat.
What?
I mean it. If you aren't going to help me, you may as well go home.
You but Grace.
I wonder who that can be.
Probably the man in the moon wondering why we haven't shown up.
Good evening, Grace.
Why, Clarence.
Surprise, surprise.
Hey, Olson, what's he doing here?
Did someone send for a doctor?
No.
Pushy intern. Someday I'll send him to a doctor.
Seriously, Grace, I want to show you what I'm planning to enter in your hobby show.
Oh, well, come in.
Oh, I see the water commissioner is here. Having trouble with the plumbing?
Hello, Olson.
Don't look so stricken, Gildersleeve. I won't stay long.
Good.
Won't take me more than 2 or 3 hours to show Grace my paintings.
Oh.
I'm anxious to see them, Clarence.
Of course, I only dabble on weekends.
Sort of a no-talent Churchill, eh, Olson?
Gildersleeve, would you like to go listen to the radio while we discuss art?
Art.
This is a lovely watercolor.
Well, thank you, Grace.
I bet you got them at the dime store. They give you pictures like that if you just buy the frames.
Jealous.
I love the subtle colors.
Oh, that little still life I did at home in the kitchen.
Old bananas.
What I really enjoy is getting out and painting landscapes. What do you think of my marine?
It's gorgeous.
I can see the water, but where's the marine?
It looks like something Frederick Waugh might have done.
Well, thank you. Then you approve of my entries for your hobby show?
They're wonderful.
Gildersleeve, what are you entering?
Oh, Throckmorton doesn't have a hobby.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
I have hobbies. I just don't flaunt them. I'm no show-off like some people I know.
Some people just don't have anything to show off.
Yeah, I have to get rid of him. Olson?
Yes, Gildersleeve?
Probably you don't realize Grace has a lot of work to do. Signs to paint for the show.
Oh, then you need a painter.
Will you really help, Clarence?
Yeah, but Grace...
Will I? There's nothing I'd enjoy more than staying here working with you, Grace.
Yeah, I just thought of a hobby for me. Keep my big fat mouth shut.
Here's your evening paper, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, thank you, Bertie.
I see one of your lady friends is staging a hobby show.
Yeah. Is that in the paper?
Yes, sir. There's a picture of Miss Tuttle, Dr. Olson, and some other gentlemen holding up their hobbies.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, look at Olson grin. You'd think he just painted Whistler's mother.
Ain't that the postmaster?
Yeah, holding up his stamp collection. He's getting so Grace won't pay any attention to anybody who doesn't have a hobby.
Yes.
Yeah, I was over there last night, and Dr. Olson came by.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I felt completely left out.
Yes, sir.
Probably I should have had a hobby all these years.
I thought you had one.
Me?
Girls.
Oh, my goodness.
You always had plenty of them.
I know.
A sailor's got a girl in every port, but the water commissioner's got them on tap all over town.
No, Bertie.
You got a hobby that is a hobby. You just take your girls to the hobby show and put them in your booth.
Oh.
You can't miss winning first prize. Who's going to look at the stamp collection when they can look at your collection?
Yeah, all right, Bertie. You know I'm not a ladies' man.
Well, I know this. You ain't been collecting stamps all these years.
Well, I'll just forget about the hobby show. Let Olson have his fun. There are other interests in life. Say, the Jolly Boys haven't gotten together in some time. We might have a meeting the night of the hobby show. Yeah, Peavy's president. I'll suggest he call the meeting. Hello, Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this evening?
Well, I just thought I'd drop in while I'm waiting to pick up Leroy.
Are you chauffeuring for the kids again this evening?
No, I just had to take the boy over to the library. Oh, there's always something, Peavy.
Yeah, I guess a growing youngster demands a lot of time.
Yeah, but I want to encourage him in his studies.
Well, my father was always encouraging me.
Did he help you a lot?
Oh, my, yes. He got me up at 5 o'clock and said, Dickie boy, hit the books.
Oh, don't tell me he called you Dickie boy.
Well, my name's Richard. My nickname was Dick, and I was your boy. Dickie boy.
Yeah, I understand.
You mean they never called you Throcky boy?
No. Peavy, I want to talk to you about something.
Very well.
We haven't had a Jolly Boys meeting for some time.
No, our singing's so bad it takes quite a while to forget it.
Yeah, how about a meeting tomorrow night?
Oh, I know. That's a hobby show night.
You're going to the hobby show?
Well, I'm here to tell you I've got a hobby.
You, Peavy?
Where am I going to show it if I don't show it at the hobby show?
All right, Peavy, go.
I intend to.
We'll have a meeting without you. I'll get the judge, Floyd, and the chief.
I don't think you'll have any luck, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What do you mean?
The judge is entering his coin collection.
He should have quite a collection. He never spends any.
And Floyd's entering something, and Chief of Police Gates is displaying his collection of confiscated blackjack.
Blackjacks? What a display for a school gymnasium.
I'm surprised you aren't interested in the hobby show since your girl is staging it.
Not me. I don't follow the crowd.
Well, everybody seems to be going, including Dr. Olson.
Well, I don't care. I'm no sheep.
And if he beats your time with Miss Tuttle, you'll be the goat.
All right, watch it, Dickie boy.
Mr. Gildersleeve, don't call me Dickie boy.
Your father called you Dickie boy.
Well, he could lick me, but you can't.
Goodbye, Peavy.
Thanks, Unc. I'm sorry I kept you waiting so long at the library.
Oh, that's all right, Leroy. It's worth a little time if some knowledge penetrates that head of yours.
With all this scientific stuff, why doesn't somebody invent a knowledge salve?
Knowledge salve?
Yeah, rub it on your head and let it sink in while you're out playing baseball.
Oh, my goodness. Hey,
What's the matter?
the lights are still on in the school gymnasium. I think I'll run in and see if Grace is still working on the hobby booths.
Can I go in with you, Unc?
No, you stay in the car, my boy. If Grace is there, I'll only be a minute. Leroy, stay in the car. I'll be right back.
If you're not back in 15 minutes, can I honk the horn?
No. Oh, that boy. Yeah, glad I drove by the school. The only way I can get away from Olson is to catch Grace in the gymnasium. Well, there she is, tacking up a sign. Hello, Grace.
Hello, Throckmorton.
Right, George, you look cute on that stepladder.
Surprised to see you here.
Well, I was hoping I'd find you alone.
She isn't alone.
Oop. I didn't see you in that booth, Olson.
I've been helping Grace.
Clarence is so devoted to the hobby show.
Yeah, I know what he's devoted to.
Clarence, will you hand me some more tacks?
Yeah, I will.
I've got 'em. Here you are.
Thank you, Clarence. I don't know what I'd have done tonight without you.
Yes.
They're getting entirely too friendly.
You mind if I start setting up my booth?
Why, it's Mr. Peavy.
No, Miss Tuttle. I thought I'd bring over part of my exhibit tonight.
Hello, Mr. Peavy. Your booth's right over here.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Olson.
Peavy, you didn't tell me your hobby was model railroads?
You didn't ask me.
Oh.
I thought I'd put down the track tonight, and tomorrow Mrs. Peavy's going to drive the train over.
Wonderful. Is she interested in trains?
Mrs. Peavy's the engineer.
A lady engineer?
Well, she runs things around the house, so I let her run the train.
Oh, they've forgotten I'm here.
You know, Mr. Peavy, I'm finding out more things about people.
You don't say.
Well, they have such fascinating interests. You have your railroads. Clarence has his beautiful paintings.
What do you have to offer, Gildersleeve?
Clarence, don't embarrass Throckmorton.
No, I'm not embarrassed. I stopped by tonight to ask if there's another booth available.
Why, Throckmorton, I thought you weren't interested in hobbies.
Like I said last night, I just don't flaunt them.
Wonderful. What shall I put you down for?
Well,
Can't you think of anything, Gildersleeve?
Well, I'm just thinking of which hobby to present. Oh, that's Leroy blowing the horn. I have to run now. Save me a booth.
What an obvious character. Gracie's just entering the hobby show to be near you.
Oh, a man wouldn't go to all that trouble just because he likes me.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. What are you having for lunch tomorrow, Mom? Need an idea? Well, relax. Here it is, an idea for a meatless main dish that's as delicious and nourishing as a main dish should be, because it's made with Kraft's smooth melting pasteurized processed cheese food, Velveeta. We call it a two-tone golden sandwich, and here's all you do. First, make scrambled eggs. For a change, try adding some fresh chopped green chives. Then pile the fluffy hot eggs onto slices of whole wheat toast. And on top of the eggs, put a good thick slice of Velveeta for just the rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor you want. Then slide the sandwiches into a moderate oven, about 350 degrees, just long enough for the Velveeta to melt. That's all there is to it for a lunch or supper main dish that's not only mighty fine tasting, but mighty fine in the nourishment department, too. Velveeta is so rich in vital food values from milk that just 2 ounces of this cheese food, the amount you put on that sandwich, gives you more protein, calcium, and phosphorus, as much riboflavin, and more vitamin A than a big 8-ounce glass of milk. Have this wonderful golden sandwich tomorrow. Pick up a 2-pound loaf of Velveeta at your grocer's so you can enjoy this smooth melting cheese food in hot main dishes and for cold snacks and sandwiches, too. Just be sure you get genuine Velveeta. It's the finest quality cheese food you can buy, and it's made only by Kraft.
Well, the night before his girlfriend's hobby show, Mr. Gildersleeve decided he better get himself a hobby. He even went so far as to reserve a hobby booth. Now he's wringing his hand, racking his brain, and pacing the floor. Oh, well.
Yes?
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Come in, Bertie.
I'm about to close up the kitchen, and if you want a midnight snack,
No, thanks, Bertie. Not hungry.
No, sir. Have you thought of a hobby yet?
No, I may be up all night.
Yes, sir. Well, some people collect stamps, some collect butterflies, but you don't have time for that.
I've got butterflies. I'm committed to having something in that booth tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Bertie, if you were going in for a hobby, what would you collect?
Taxes?
Taxes.
Of course, I guess Uncle Sam's got that booth.
Please, Bertie, I'm trying to think.
Yes, sir.
I've looked through books for ideas, tried everything.
Well, you might get a hobby out of something you used to do as a boy, if they had hobbies then.
Well, I made kites. And for some reason, they wouldn't fly.
That takes care of kites.
Say, I did take a manual training course in high school. Used to be pretty good at woodwork.
You got the tools in the basement.
That's right. There's my old lathe down there, and I could use Leroy's tool chest.
I'll clean out the basement first thing in the morning. You can go to work.
Right, George, I'm beginning to see the light.
What you gonna make?
A lamp. Oh, wait till Gray sees how I can mold a piece of wood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Olson will wish he'd stuck to painting tonsils.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad I got an early start. Yeah, that old lathe works like a sewing machine. Yeah, glad I thought to make a lamp base in the shape of a water tower. After the show, I'll give it to Grace, and it'll remind her of me.
Hi, Unc.
Oh, good morning, Leroy.
Aren't you going to the office today?
No. I'll need every minute to finish this.
What are you doing? Hey, I said, what are you doing?
Oh. What did you say?
I said, what are you doing?
I'm working on my hobby.
Yeah? Do you mind stopping a minute?
Well, I'm pretty busy. What is it, my boy?
Can you help me with my homework?
Homework. It's time for school.
It'll only take a second. I want you to help me with this problem.
Oh, all right. Shoot.
Okay. A and B start from the same place and go in opposite directions, A traveling 30 miles an hour and B traveling 10 miles an hour. If B starts 3 hours before A, how long has A traveled when they are 90 miles apart?
How's that again?
Here's the book. Read it.
Oh, yeah. Better get my pencil. Let's see now. B's gone 30 miles before A starts. After an hour, 40 miles. A's gone 30. It's 70.
Where do you suppose they're going?
Quiet, Leroy. In an hour and a half, each has gone 45. Hey, that's 90 miles. Takes them an hour and a half.
Swell, Hunk. That's the answer I got.
What?
I just wanted to be sure I was right.
Oh, what a waste of time.
Well, be seeing you, Unc.
Goodbye, my boy. Gee. Now maybe I can get back to my lamp base. Hope I can finish it in time. Yeah, she's taking shape. With Leroy in school, I won't have any more interruptions.
Excuse me!
Oop. Yes, Bertie?
Can you stop doing what you're doing for a minute?
Oh, why, Bertie?
You know, Leroy just ran for school.
Yes?
Well, he went off without his lunch pail.
Zeke.
Can you drop it by school?
Oh, all right. Confound it. I'll take it over. Nearly 4 o'clock, and I haven't finished sandpapering. Still have to glue the legs on. Painted.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy.
Say, we were right this morning.
What do you mean we were right?
The algebra problem.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. I should have asked you about the 4 I missed.
Yes.
What are you making, a baseball bat?
I'm making a lamp.
Well, gosh, don't get touchy. How do I know it's a lamp? Where's the bulb?
Leroy, the bulb will be sticking out of the water tower.
Where's the water tower?
That's my lamp.
Oh,
I haven't put it all together yet.
you're going to write a card and tell them what it is, huh?
My boy, aren't you supposed to go to Clara Pettibone's birthday party this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm going to put in an appearance.
Hadn't you better hike upstairs and put on your blue suit?
My blue suit? Just to get ice cream on it?
Mrs. Pettibone is a stickler for doing things according to Hoyle. Besides, you want to look like a gentleman.
I do?
Young man, your blue suit.
No, grown.
Well, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes. Hey, running out of time. Haven't turned out the legs for the tank yet. Oh, not again. Yes, Leroy.
How do I look?
Well, that's better. Now you look... Leroy, you're wearing your blue suit with tennis shoes?
We may play basketball.
Not at a party staged by Mrs. Pettibone. Now get upstairs and put on your black shoes and see that they shine.
Can I shine my tennis shoes?
Leroy. Darn leg doesn't fit. May have to bevel it some more. Time's getting away.
How do I look now?
Oh, that's more like it, my boy. Now, let me straighten your tie so the label doesn't show.
Okay.
Now, don't forget your manners at the party.
I won't. Not me.
Now, what are you going to say when you give Clara her birthday present?
I'll say, here.
No. You wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, sure, I'll do that.
Now, what do you say to Mrs. Pettibone after the party?
Well, I'm hoping I don't see much of her.
Leroy, don't forget to thank her for inviting you. Compliment the refreshments.
Okay. I better go.
Yeah, have a nice time.
I'll be thinking of so many things I gotta say and do, I won't have time to have fun.
Oh, youth. Well, maybe I can get this lamp finished now. The legs are going to be short for a water tank. But if I made it to scale, instead of a table lamp, it'd be a chandelier. I wonder if I'll be able to finish it for the hobby show. Oh, my goodness. What is it, Bertie?
Can you stop doing what you're doing for a minute?
About all I've done today is stop.
Leroy just ran off to the party.
Good.
But he forgot his present.
Oh, pooh!
Mr. Gildersleeve, you off to the hobby show at last?
Yeah, Bertie. I wouldn't even go if Grace weren't sponsoring it.
That's your lamp?
Oh, don't rub it in. I didn't get to finish it.
You gonna enter it anyway?
No, I'm not going to be a laughing stock, Bertie. I'm going to leave it on the back porch, and tomorrow I'll split it up for kindling.
Oh, that's too bad. Are you sure you don't want to enter it as unfinished business?
Bertie.
That could be a new hobby. Unfinished business.
See you around, Piggy. Thanks for bringing me home from the party. Hey, Unc went off and left his lamp on the back steps. I guess it's a lamp. Gosh, I better get it down to the hobby show for him.
Well, quite a few people at the hobby show.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, hello, Peavy.
Where's your hobby?
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, it's too bad. Miss Tuttle will be disappointed.
Yeah, I know.
You care to come over and play train with me and Mrs. Peavy?
Thanks. No, I'll just wander around.
Yeah, well.
Hey, Gildersleeve.
Yeah, Olson.
Oh, what happened to your hobby? I won a prize with my painting.
Great. Go frame yourself. Oh, he'll be number one with Grace now. Oop, there's Leroy putting something in my booth. It's my lamp. Leroy!
Oh, hi, Unc.
Get that lamp out of my booth.
Didn't you forget it?
No, I didn't get to finish it.
I wondered what was wrong with it.
There were too darn many interruptions.
Oh, there you are, Throckmorton. Hello, Leroy.
Hi, Miss Tuttle.
Hello, Grace.
I'm dying to see your hobby entry. Is this it?
Well, Grace, you see...
What is it? Something futuristic?
It's a lamp base.
Oh.
Well, as a matter of fact, Grace, I didn't get to finish it today. Leroy didn't know and brought it anyway.
You were trying to do all this in one day?
Well...
Then you really don't have a hobby.
Unc does, too, have a hobby.
Now, Leroy...
What is it, Leroy?
Well, heck, the way things have been going, I guess I'm his hobby.
Oh?
I guess he'd have finished his lamp and done a lot of other things if I didn't take up so much of his time.
No, my boy.
I guess Unc's never had the chance to do a lot of the things he wanted to.
Leroy, this hobby doesn't mean a thing.
Throckmorton, I think we should have a special prize for you.
For me?
Mm-hmm. Because raising a boy is about the best hobby a man can have.
Well, never thought of it as a hobby.
Hey, Unc, if I'm a hobby, I better go sit in your booth.
What?
I'm the only hobby that can wiggle its ears.
Oh, what a boy.
Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Looking for a good food buy? Then get Velveeta, Kraft's famous pasteurized processed cheese food. Delicious, nourishing Velveeta is one of the best food buys you can make because you can enjoy it so many ways, in snacks, in sandwiches, and for a variety of economical hot main dishes. Make Velveeta your handy helper for all kinds of money-saving hot meals. Remember, your best buy in cheese food is Velveeta, made only by Kraft.
Now the fire's catching on, Throckmorton.
Yeah. That lamp base makes pretty good lawn.
I'm sorry you didn't get to finish it for the hobby show.
Well, Grace, I'd never be able to compete with some of those entries.
I thought little Joey Martin had the most novel hobby.
You know, the little crippled boy?
Mm-hmm. Did you see his collection of Easter seals? One for every year they've had them.
Well, I guess that's little Joey's way of saying thanks for all Easter seals have done for him. I remember when he couldn't walk.
I know, and his parents weren't able to help much.
Well, the care and treatment of crippled children is costly. That's why all of us have to help. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure you send a contribution to your Easter Seal Society for Crippled Children. A youngster who has to walk with crutches and braces needs lots of friends to help him on his way. The American people have always been very generous in helping every worthwhile cause, but perhaps no one thing can give you more genuine satisfaction than holding out a helping hand to a crippled child. Give them a chance by giving. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Mary Shipp, George Neese, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying good night for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Here's an idea for a brand new kind of soup. Soup you fix fast and easy. In the top of a double boiler, add a can of condensed tomato soup to an equal quantity of water. Then, when it's steaming hot, spoon in the contents of an 8-ounce jar of Kraft's Cheese Whiz and blend well. This Cheese Whiz tomato soup combination gives you the creamiest, most delightful tasting soup you've had in a long time. It's a wonderful main dish for lunch or supper, an exciting appetizer for dinner. Tomorrow, get tomato soup and Cheese Whiz, Kraft's pasteurized processed cheese spread.
From 70 years ago, March 24th, 1954, the Great Gildersleeve here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next, we'll hear the precursor to I Love Lucy. A lot of those things were worked out in My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball and Richard Denning, in an Easter-themed show.
Alert Americans will heed history's lessons. Throughout history, surprise has had a leading role in military disasters. Today, an enemy capable of surprise air attack could leave chaos in his wake. That's why you should be in the Civilian Ground Observer Corps, volunteering a few hours a week to guard our skies. Be a ground observer. Contact your local civilian defense office.
And now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball and Richard Denning. And the reason I call it a precursor to I Love Lucy is that a lot of the staff from this show moved to I Love Lucy because they learned how to write for Lucille Ball. And that's the way they did it. 73 years ago, March 24th, 1951, and that is an episode about where they're dealing with getting their Easter outfits.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning. Transcribed and brought to you by the Jell-O family of red letter desserts.
Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings, yum, yum, yum. Jell-O taps, the yolk of puddings, yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. And now, let's look in on the Coopers. Tonight, we're going to ask you to go back with us to an evening 2 weeks ago. George and Liz are entertaining George's boss, Mr. Atterbury, and his wife, Iris. Dinner is over, and the group has just settled down in the living room.
Oh, gee, that was a delicious dinner, Liz.
Ah, thank you, honey, baby doll. That's why I love you. Because you say such sweet things to me. Give me a kiss.
All right.
What a disgusting exhibition.
It is not, Rudolph. You should try acting like that.
All right. Come here, Liz.
Not with her.
Oh.
I'm sorry if I overdid it, Mr. Atterbury, but I'm feeling mellow toward George tonight. He promised to buy me the Easter hat I want.
Easter? Is it almost Easter time again?
Of course, Iris. It's a week from tomorrow.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know it? How could you miss all the ads?
So that's what's been cut out of our paper before I get.
Lotus bud.
Tell me, girl, has Christmas been here yet?
Oh, you're a scream. George, did you actually promise to buy Liz an Easter hat?
Well, sure.
Without putting up a struggle?
Yes.
You're something of an idiot, aren't you, boy?
Well, but what's the harm in buying a little hat?
When you've been married as long as I have, you'll know that a woman can parlay a bonnet into a whole spring wardrobe.
Liz, is that true?
Absolutely not. Although, come to think of it, the straw hat I picked out won't go with my last year's outfit at all.
I rest my case.
Sorry, Liz, I'm not going to get stung for a whole outfit.
But, George, what am I going to wear in the Easter parade?
A new hat, and that's all.
Well, all right, but I'm liable to collect a crowd.
Yeah. She'll really be the grandest lady in the Easter parade.
Iris, what's happened? When George and I were first married, I got a complete new outfit every Easter.
So did I, girl.
George used to say he liked to show off my cute little figure.
So did Rudolph.
Whatever happened to those husbands?
The same thing that happened to those cute little figures.
What?
Rudolph.
Touché, Mr. Atterbury.
What do you mean? What happened to our figures? I'll have you know I can still wear a size 12.
Me too.
Iris, Liz isn't talking about her shoe size.
Neither am I. I have exactly the same measurements as the day George and I were married.
Oh, now, let's face it, honey. We've all put on a little weight in the interim.
That's not the only place.
Just never mind. George, do you remember that blue dress I had the first Easter we were married?
Yeah.
Well, I still have it, and I'm going up right now and put it on, and it'll fit perfectly, too.
Oh, Liz, it doesn't matter.
I'll show you. Come on, Iris. I know that dress is here some... Oh, here it is.
Oh, look at the cut of it, Liz.
Yeah, it's been up here so long it's back in style again.
You know, you're right.
The idea of George thinking I couldn't get into this dress. See how easily it slips down over my shoulders, and down over my waist, and down over my... down over my... down over my...
What's the matter, girl?
I've hit a snag.
Yeah.
Never mind. The dress has shrunk, that's all.
Girl, this is Iris. Save that propaganda for the boys. Admit it, you put on weight in the hips.
I prefer to think of it as a little avoirdupois on the back of my lap.
Well, whatever you call it, it's still in the way. The dress won't come down over your hips.
Look, maybe if you pull on the bottom of the skirt and I hold my breath, we can do it.
Well, all right, girl, I'll try.
Okay, pull. Pull some more.
I'm pulling. It's too bad we don't have a big shoehorn. Hold your breath. There.
Phew. I did it. Come on, let's go down and show George.
Hold it, girl.
What's the matter?
You have a bad case of gaposis.
Huh?
You aren't zipped up the side.
Oh, I thought it was too easy. Zip me up, please.
Okay. Yeah. There's something in the way.
What?
You. Hold your breath again.
Okay.
There. We made it. Now, don't dare exhale until we go down and show you to the boys. Come on.
George, boy, what's taking the girls so long up there?
Oh, who knows?
Here we are.
Liz, my gosh, you made it. You got into that dress.
She's got you, boy.
Oh, I'm amazed. Oh, I never thought you could do it. Did you have any trouble, Liz?
No, it was a cinch.
Gee, how long's it been since you wore that, Liz?
10 years.
Well, Liz's voice has changed.
Liz, is something wrong?
Nope.
Are you holding your breath?
No.
I might have known.
Gad, look at her face. I've never seen such an interesting shade of blue.
Okay, she's in the dress, George. I guess she proved her point. Come on, Liz, let's go take it off.
No, wait. I want to look at Liz some more. I think it's remarkable that she hasn't gained an ounce in 10 years.
Yes, come on, Liz.
You keep out of this, Lotus Bud.
You're sure you're not holding your breath, Liz?
No. Well, let's go.
No. Stick around, Liz. I want to admire you in that dress. Oh, just stand there and let me look at you.
Oh, dear.
Cheap material.
Well, Liz, I guess you'll have to admit you've gained a little weight.
Well...
Too bad, girls. George and I had just decided if you actually had the same figures you did 10 years ago, we were going to buy you both new Easter outfits.
You were?
We were? Oh, yes, we were.
Well, too bad. Better luck next Easter.
Oh, nuts.
Wait a minute. It's still a deal.
What do you mean?
There's still time. If Iris and I reduce until we have those measurements again, can we have new Easter outfits?
Yeah.
Well, can we? Huh?
I guess we're in for it, George. But let's get a few things straight. Just what size do you girls plan to diet back to?
12.
Iris, how about you?
24.
Now, just a minute, Lotus Bud. You said you used to wear a 12, too.
12 times 2. That's 24.
Iris, either you get down to a 12 or the deal's off.
All right.
We'll go down to Miller's first thing tomorrow and have them put aside 2 size 12 suits.
Yeah, and we'll go along to see that they really put aside size 12.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you trust us.
And first thing tomorrow, we start eating watercress sandwiches. Iris,
I just thought of something.
What's that, girl?
If we get down to size 12 again, we'll be so gorgeous we won't have to look for new suits. We can look for new men.
Well, say, speaking of men, you can make the men in your family happy tomorrow if you top off that Easter dinner with a grand and glorious Jell-O chocolate pie for dessert. Velvety, rich, and creamy, extra chocolatey good, thanks to that exclusive Walter Baker chocolate blend. The easy recipe is on every package of Jell-O chocolate pudding and pie filling. Just add milk, and it takes about 5 minutes to cook. You'll find other exciting new recipes there, too, such as chocolate banana fluff and cool, refreshing chocolate mint pudding. All of them quick and easy, all of them with that just right flavor blend that suits everybody's taste. All 3 Jell-O puddings and pie fillings make wonderful puddings, make perfect pies. Chocolate, butterscotch, and vanilla. They're creamy, smooth, they're rich and velvety. They're easy as pie to fix. And all 3 gay new packages have delicious recipes on them that you'll certainly want to try. Your folks will love them. So whether you want pudding or whether you want pie, it's Jell-O puddings and pie fillings for the best in both. Yes, Jell-O puddings and pie fillings for red letter desserts.
And now back to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband. As we look in on the Coopers once again, we find them with the Atterberries in Miller's department store.
I think the suits are over this way, Iris.
I believe you're right, girl.
Why don't we go this other way? It's much shorter.
Shorter? That takes us all the way through the lingerie department.
I know.
Yeah, let's go that way.
Never mind, George.
Yeah, they have the cutest models around here.
Mr. Atterbury, you're wasting your time winking at that girl.
Oh, am I?
Yes, Rudolph.
If you pinch her, all you'll get is wax in your nails. She's a dummy.
Well, it takes one to know one.
It takes one to know one. I don't know.
May I help you? Yes, we'd like to look at some suits. Very well. What size? 12. All right. I'll see what... 12? Yes, 12. Oh, for your daughter? Fine, George. No, miss. The suit happens to be for me.
Oh. I want a size 12, too.
Shut up,
Yes,
Rudolph.
come here.
Just show us the suits. We'll dye it down to fit them. Step this way, dreamer. We have some of our nicest suits right here on the rack. Oh, this one is just wonderful. Look, Iris, navy with a touch of white on the collar.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see the next one. Oh, that's for me. Perfect.
Okay, I'll write it up. Well, we can't take them until they fit us. There goes my commission. Just write it up and put them aside. Well, step over here and I'll make out a sales slip. Ooh, isn't this exciting, Iris?
Isn't it strange, boy? They're never so happy as when they're spending our hard-earned money.
Incidentally, how much of our precious cabbage will this be?
Oh, I don't know. Look at the price tag.
Okay. Well, not too bad. $13.50.
Well, let me see the... Look again, boy. That's $135.
For a suit?
Yeah. It at least ought to have 2 pair of pants.
Well, I can't stand a price like that. I'd better go and tell Liz the deal's off.
Oh, no, wait, boy. We'll never have to buy those suits.
We won't?
No. Here are 2 suits, size 10. We'll put the size 12 tags on them.
Mr. Atterbury, you're a genius. There's no chance of our getting stuck.
No. Size 10. Iris couldn't even get her arm through the neck hole.
Jiggers, here they come.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, George, it's all set. Now all we have to do is make the weight.
How much is this going to cost me, Liz?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that. It's, $135.
Oh, is that all?
Who said that?
Mine's 150.
Very reasonable.
Oh, I get it. They don't think we'll be able to do it.
Well, we'll show them.
Yeah, come on, Iris. We'll start our diet right now.
But it's 4 o'clock.
Well, let's go someplace and not have tea.
George, boy, I'm certainly glad you invited us over to dinner. For a week now, Iris hasn't served anything but her diet food.
Oh, at your house, too?
Oh, I've eaten so many carrots, I'm beginning to whistle at rabbits instead of women.
Have you lost weight?
3 times last night, I stood up and my pants stayed sitting down.
I wish they'd hurry with dinner.
Here they come. Well, looks like they're starting off with hors d'oeuvres. Oh, this should be some meal.
I'm sorry we took so long fixing dinner, fellas.
Oh, I'll bet you boys are starved.
I'll say.
Here, Mr. Atterbury, have a piece of celery.
Oh, thanks.
George,
Oh, thanks.
one for me and one for Iris.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Liz, that was a fine dinner.
Thanks.
Are you kidding, Liz?
Certainly not. This is the way we lose weight. How much have you lost, Iris?
14 pounds.
Oh, I've only lost 12. Well, come on, dinner's over. Let's do the dish.
The housework's easier this way, isn't it?
I'll say.
George, I'm getting worried.
Yeah, so am I. If they lost that much weight, we're in trouble, even with those size 10 suits.
We better go back this afternoon and switch them again. They'll never make it down to a size 8.
Liz, why on earth did you have me meet you here in the malt shop? Are you trying to torture me?
No, I've got a plan. You said last night you lost 14 pounds, right?
Yeah.
You didn't lose half that much, did you?
No.
How much did you lose?
3/4.
3/4 of 14?
No, 3/4 of a pound. How much did you lose?
I gained a pound.
How come?
I don't know. But by the time we lose enough to wear those suits, we'll have to be wheeled in the Easter parade.
So?
So I called that salesgirl at Miller's this morning, and I made a deal with her. She'll switch the suits to a size 14 and put the size 12 tags on them.
Oh, Liz, you're a genius. Let's order something gooey right now.
I already did. I ordered 2 double fudge sundaes, smothered in whipped cream, nuts, and cherries.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Those are for me. What do you want?
The same.
Waiter, double up on those sundaes and give me a milkshake while I'm waiting.
Miss Evans, could I see you a minute?
What is it, Mr. Morgan? I was just going out to lunch.
Keep your eyes open. There's been another outbreak of shoplifting in the dress and suit departments.
I haven't seen a thing.
And I don't wonder. Their technique is to put the clothes on under their own dresses and walk out that way.
Oh.
Well, you run along. I'll keep an eye on your department while you're gone.
Pardon me. I'm looking for the salesgirl who waited on me. Miss Evans, I think her name was.
Well, I'm sorry. She's out to lunch. Can someone else help you?
No, thanks. We'll just look around by ourselves.
Oh.
Is he gone, Iris?
Yeah.
Good. Then let's grab 2 size 14 suits and see if they fit us.
Okay. Here are the 14s.
Good. Now, let's go in the dressing room. These ought to fit us easy.
Oh, sure.
I'll just slip this skirt on and... Then the jacket. And I'll button it up.
I think we can get into these.
Oh, dear. Look at me, Iris.
It is skin tight, isn't it?
It's tighter than that. I can move in my skin. How does yours fit?
Which way are the 16s?
Well, come on. Let's go out and try them. I wonder if they have a navy blue tent with a white collar.
The 16s should be right along here. What's the matter, girl? Did you see yourself in the mirror?
No, look over there. George and Mr. Atterbury.
So what?
So do you want them to find us in these suits? They'll know what we're up to.
Oh, you're right, girl. What do we do?
They saw us. Quick, back into the dressing room.
Okay.
We got to get out of these clothes.
We don't have time.
Iris, come out here. Liz, I want to see you right now.
We don't have time to change. What'll we do? We'll have to put our dresses on right over these suits.
I'll give you 3, Iris. That goes for you, too, Liz.
Just a second. Are you ready, Iris?
Wait a minute. Okay.
I feel bulgier than ever. Well, here goes. Hi, George.
Hello.
What are you two doing here?
I'll bet I know.
What? Who are you?
I'm the manager. These women are shoplifters.
Shoplifters?
Now, just a minute. I'm Rudolph Atterbury, president of the Sheridan Falls National Bank. And this is my
just a moment, Mr. Atterbury, before you blow your top. Do you know what those women have on under their dresses? No. Do you? I certainly do.
What?
Well, it's an old gag. They put new merchandise on under their dress and walk out with it.
Preposterous. Isn't it, Iris?
Isn't it, Liz? Are you girls out of your heads? Have you really got stolen merchandise on?
Well, sort of.
Oh, Gad! Oh, Gad!
Look, we can explain, really. Just get us out of this.
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Atterbury. Listen. Genius. Look, girls, if we get you out of this, will you forget about the Easter suits?
No, that's not fair.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's enough of that whispering. Say, what's your connection with these women anyway, Mr. Atterbury?
I never saw them before in my life.
What?
Neither did I. Oh, they look like shady characters to me.
Never saw us before. Listen, this big fat tub of lard.
Wait, Iris.
Tub?
Let me tell Iris. We are shoplifters.
What?
What? I'm tired of doing all the dirty work for these masterminds.
You mastermind?
Sure, Fagin Atterbury and Blackie Cooper. They made us pose as their wives while they trained us. First it was picking pockets. We got pretty good.
Yeah. Remember that cute little baby kangaroo you picked up at the zoo?
Yeah, his mother never felt a thing.
Then we worked on bigger and bigger things until one day at a carnival, Liz made me a dare.
She did it, too. But the next 3 months were misery. Trying to hide out with a hot merry-go-round on our hands.
Now, that's enough. Iris, Liz, are you going to tell the truth or not?
Why, Fagin, we're telling the truth. Raise my right hand and hope to have a new Easter outfit, including gloves, shoes, and hat.
That goes double for me.
What do you say, George?
We're stuck.
Mr. Manager, my good fellow, will you forget this incident if we buy each of the girls a whole new outfit?
Well...
How about 2 Easter outfits each?
How about 3? We'll make it 4.
Oh, shut up!
Well, 2 outfits and it's a deal.
2 outfits,
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I suggest you choose them from this department over here, where we keep our more expensive suits.
Happy Easter, Iris. Just right.
Yes, friend, just right.
Yes, friend.
That glorious just right flavor blend of Jell-O chocolate pudding.
And that glorious Just Right flavor blend makes grand and glorious chocolate pie, too. So extra chocolatey rich, you'll say you never tasted anything better. All 3 Jell-O puddings and pie fillings make wonderful pies, chocolate, butterscotch, and vanilla. You'll find recipes on the gay new packages for chocolate meringue pie and butterscotch pecan pie and fluffy, rich vanilla banana pie. And you'll find lots of exciting pudding treats, too. All delicious, all quick and easy. 'Cause with Jell-O puddings and pie fillings, you just add milk and they take about 5 minutes to cook to velvety, smooth perfection. You better stock up on all 3 flavors first thing next Monday, 'cause it's Jell-O puddings and pie fillings for red letter desserts.
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, and based on characters created by Isabel Scott Rorick. Tonight's transcribed program was produced and directed by Jess Oppenheimer, who wrote the script with Madeline Pugh and Bob Carroll Jr. Original music was composed by Marlon Skiles and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The parts of Mr. and Mrs. Atterbury were played by Gail Gordon and Bea Benaderet. Others in the cast were Frank Nelson and Shirley Mitchell. Be sure to watch for Lucille Ball as the hilarious cosmetic dealer in Columbia's picture, The Fuller Brush Girl.
Does coffee make you nag, nag, nag?
It's the caffeine in coffee that really does it. The caffeine in coffee that turns an angel into a shrew.
So if coffee makes you nag, nag, nag.
Switch to Sanka coffee, the regular or the instant. Sanka Coffee has 97% of the caffeine taken out. Sanka Coffee can't make you nervous or jittery. Sanka Coffee can't steal your sleep.
So if coffee makes you nag, nag, nag.
Switch to Sanka Coffee. Sanka Coffee. Sanka Coffee.
Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband again next week, presented by...
Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O, yum, yum, yum. Jell-O puddings, yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca puddings, yes, sirree.
The name Jell-O is a registered trademark of General Foods. Bob Lamont speaking.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Sad that in this episode they didn't have Lucille Ball and Bob Lamont doing a crazy end commercial for Jell-O. 73 years ago, March 24th, 1951, Lucille Ball, Richard Denning in My Favorite Husband. I promise you tomorrow we will have Rudy Valley, and it's going to be a fun show. The Royal Gelatin Hour from 1937. We'll also have the Lux Radio Theater and Remember the Night starring Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck, and the final episode of Claudia. That'll be coming up on our Monday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, Abbott and Costello.
Americans have always been noted for their know-how, and you young men in search of a career, you can put this practical talent to excellent use in one of our nation's many engineering schools. At the present time, we need engineers. We need them to maintain our scientific and engineering superiority. So look to your future, to America's future. Plan now to become an engineer.
And this funny Sunday of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with an episode of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello from 75 years ago, March 24th, 1949. Yes, another Sam Shovel mystery, and I'm not going to give away the title.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure, with chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malnick. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
All right. What do you say? All right, Lou. What are you so excited about?
You know our new picture, Mexican Hayride?
Yes.
It's playing at the theater across the street. And when the women see me in that picture, they get so hysterical that every night at 7 o'clock a woman jumps off the roof of the theater.
Yeah? What time is it now?
2 minutes after 7. She was late tonight.
Talk sense. Did your Aunt May see the picture, Lou?
She was going to, but Uncle Mike played a St. Patrick's Day joke on her. St. Patrick's Day, he took her out to the airport, tied her up on a plane, and told her to hang on to the other end of it.
St. Patrick's Day has been gone for a week.
Yeah, so has Aunt May.
Your Uncle Mike ought to be ashamed of himself. He's as big a jerk as you are.
Uncle Mike ain't no jerk. He's a student, and he's so educated that he can speak 15 languages.
Well, he should be happy.
He isn't. Aunt May knows how to say shut up, and every one of them. But by going to college, Uncle Mike has got a new job. He's going to Egypt to dig up the tomb of Tutankhamun's daughter.
How did they ever give him that job?
is Tutankhamun.
Yeah, he's a stranger.
How do you say it? How do you say it? Tutankhamun. He's going to dig up the tomb of Tutankhamun's daughter.
Well, Lou, how did they ever come to give him that job anyhow?
One night they saw Aunt May.
What's that got to do with getting the job?
They figured that if he could dig up Aunt May, he could dig up anything.
Oh, get him out.
Before the boys get any further involved in nonsense, here's a thought that makes good sense.
Come in there.
Stop yelling. Let's stop yelling.
What did you say, kid?
I called your house last night and there was no answer. Where were you?
I went to a quiz show, Abbott. One guy won 100 silver dollars. Another guy won 35 silver dollars. I won Dr. IQ's wife.
Wait a minute. How'd you win Dr. IQ's wife?
He ran out of Snickers.
No. These quiz shows are amazing. Stop the Music has over $30,000 in the jackpot. I wonder how they get all that easy money to give away.
Well, it's easy. They got a drip pen under the Bank of America.
Oh, talk sense. Don't you listen to anything but quiz shows?
Oh, sure. My favorite show is all about Mabel Fuzzleburger. Who puts that kind of stuff in? Me, Tutankhamun's daughter. Now I got Puzzleburger. Start all over.
Start that again. Let's hear that.
My favorite show? Why should I? It was good. My favorite show is all about Mabel Fuzzleburger. You should have heard it yesterday. Her father broke both his legs, and her father broke both his legs, and her brother is in a plaster cast, and they were so happy to hear that their Aunt Emma only has to have 8 operations instead of 12. It ended when Mabel pushed her husband's wheelchair over the window just in time to see her father get killed by a hit-and-run driver.
What's the name of the program?
Life can be wonderful.
Forget about radio.
I forgot about the last joke.
Yeah. Get out of the house once in a while and go to the movie.
My Uncle Mike used to take me to the movies every Saturday before he had his accident.
What accident?
Uncle Mike ran his car on a telephone pole and cut up both his ears. He can't see so good anymore.
What's getting his ears cut off got to do with his being able to see?
Now he ain't got no place to hook his glasses.
I understand that you were in the car with Uncle Mike and that you got hurt, too.
Yes. I had shooting pains ever since.
Shooting pains? Mm-hmm. Are they getting any better?
No, since I gained all that weight, they're getting worse.
Why are they getting worse?
They got more to shoot at.
You and your Uncle Mike are a couple of nitwits. I don't see how your Aunt May puts up with them.
Well, she's not going to put up with him much longer. He hits her, and besides that, she found out he's unfaithful.
He's unfaithful?
Yes, he hits other women, too.
I don't know what your Uncle Mike will ever do if your Aunt May ever leaves him.
He'll do all right, Abbott. He's got a new invention.
Your Uncle Mike and his phony inventions. None of them ever work.
Well, he's got one now I can't miss, Abbott. It's a thing that when a girl is hungry and thirsty, it feeds her and gives her something to drink.
What's it called?
A man.
Well, here I am, fellas, and I'm all ready to go.
What do you want?
Come on, ask me a question so I can win a Speed Queen washing machine or a Mixmaster.
I'm sorry, fella. This is the Abbott and Costello, and we're not allowed to give anything away.
Oh, you're not? I think I'll give you a good punch in the nose.
I'm sorry. We're not allowed to accept anything either.
You guys have got to give me better jokes than this or I quit.
This is Abbott's uncle, folks. Why don't you get this guy a job, Abbott, and keep him out of here?
Oh, I nearly had a job this morning. I went over to the department store and applied for a job in a long underwear department.
What happened?
They told me they didn't have an opening for me.
He'd probably have got the job if he'd have kept his trap shut. Abbott, if he don't stay out of here, I'm going to punch him in the nose. I'll tell you right now.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
I'll punch him right in the nose.
You're a coward. Well, aren't you a coward?
No.
You're a scaredy cat, aren't you?
No.
You're a yellow belly, aren't you?
No. Try panty waist.
Are you a panty waist?
Yes.
I thought so. I'll bet you couldn't even take candy away from a baby.
Well, that all depends.
What do you mean?
Boy or girl?
Oh, there you are, Costello. I've been looking for you. You know, when you took me home last night,
Yes.
I forgot to kiss you goodnight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it right now.
Oh, thank
Come here.
Gee, thanks, Viola. You know, when you hold me in your arms like this and squeeze me tight, I get an annoying feeling in my chest.
Is it love?
No, my elk's tooth is chewing on my ribs.
Shame on you, Costello. You can't even stand a little squeeze from a girl. You're a weakling.
Now, don't say that, Abbott. I'm one of the toughest guys you ever saw. I used to be a bullfighter. One time I fought a bull and an ox, both in the same ring.
You did?
And I'll never forget it. First I charged the bull, then I charged the ox. Then I charged the bull, then I charged the ox.
Hey, wait a minute. How did you do that?
I had a charge account at Bullocks.
Boy, you...
Whoever wrote that one gets to the head of the class.
You sound like a pretty rugged guy, Costello.
As soon as I get my place, I'll let you know. Oh, yes! I had a charge account at... Oh, we did that, didn't we? You sound like a pretty rugged guy. That's your line. I'll say I'm rugged. It's gotta be me. I'm doing the whole script. I'll say I'm rugged. Last summer I spent a whole vacation all by myself out in the woods. I even learned how to make a fire by rubbing two sticks of wood together.
You can make a fire by just rubbing two sticks together?
Sure, but one of them has got to be a match. Viola, how about you and me stepping out after the show? I got all dolled up tonight just for you.
Yeah, I noticed that. You look awfully cute, Costello. And I also noticed that you smell wonderful, too. What have you got on?
Nothing.
Well, I guess that explains it.
That's telling him, Viola. How about you and me? How about you and I going to the movies tonight, Viola?
Don't go with her, Abbott. She'll try to take advantage of you like she did of me.
What are you talking about, Costello?
Abbott, I took Viola to a movie. She sneaked down the aisle ahead of me and stole the bulb out of the usher's flashlight.
Why, just for that crack, Costello, I'm never going to the movies with you again. Anyway, you're not my type. I prefer men like Gregory Peck and Van Johnson.
Oh, yeah? What have I got that they haven't got?
Oh, what have you got that they haven't got? You got that backwards.
That's just the trouble. He's got it backwards.
Viola, you're being a little rough on Costello. It's not his fault that he's stupid. He had a pretty tough childhood.
Is that true, Costello?
Sure, that's true.
Is that true, Costello?
Yes, I had a very bad start, Viola. When I was born, I only weighed 1.5 pounds.
£1.5 pounds? How'd you live?
I sold newspapers. Not only that, I was so poor that when I was in school, I had to keep my feet under the desk.
Why?
Because I didn't have any shoes.
Oh, Costello, that's awful.
Not only that, when the teacher asked a question, I couldn't even raise my hand.
Why not?
I didn't have any suspenders either.
I can't stand any more of this sad stuff. I've got to go to work.
Where are you
Where
working?
Excuse me.
Where are you working, Viola?
Where are you working, Viola?
I've got a job over at the 5 and 10.
I'd like to stop in and see you, Viola. What department of the store do you work in?
I work in 2 departments. I sing songs in the music department, and I sell perfume in the perfume department.
Well, how will I find out?
Just walk in the store, and if you hear anything or smell anything, that's me. So long, Costello.
That's only half the fun, folks. Just as many laughs yet to come. But
And
first, listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the singing star of the Abbott and Costello Show, Hal Winters, with Matty Malnick and his orchestra.
Any state in the 48 is great. So let's appreciate that any state is a reason we should celebrate. You know you really rate in any location throughout the nation. Happiness can be found from border to border. Things are in order, so tip your hat to your home ground. See that little twinkle up in the blue. Oh, glory set aside a special star for you. So take a trip and it will demonstrate that any state in the 48 is great. You really rate in any location throughout the nation. Happiness can be found from border to border. Things are in order, so tip your hat to your home ground. See that little twinkle up in the blue. Oh, glory set aside a special star for you. So take a trip and it will demonstrate that any state in the 48 is great.
All right, come out here, Costello. You know you're not supposed to make phone calls during the show. Who are you talking to?
I just called my new girl, Abbott.
You have a new girl? When did you start going with her?
Last night. I took her for a ride in Griffith Park, and I stopped the car and asked her for a kiss. She says, "How dare you? I'm a Hollywood girl, and I don't kiss men in automobiles."
Well, it's time you learned, Costello, that a lot of our California girls won't kiss a man in a car in Griffith Park.
Yes, I know. The woods are full of them. Anyway, we parked. I held her hand, and then I couldn't get my car started.
It must be this cold weather. What kind of oil do you use?
The regular kind. I began telling her I was lonely.
Well, never mind that. How did you meet this girl?
She wrote me a fan letter. She fell in love with my Sam Shovel detective character.
Are you still getting fan mail on Sam Shovel?
Sure. Just listen to this one I got today. Dear Lou Costello, I listen to your Sam Shovel detective program every Wednesday. I haven't missed one of them. I've been trying to run into you for weeks now, but I just can't seem to find you. I'm coming to the studio tonight and certainly hope I get a chance to run across you.
Mr. Costello, there's a guy outside says he's just dying to run into you.
Well, have him come in.
I can't. He's driving a 10-ton truck.
Oh, never mind him, Costello. What have you chosen for your Sam Shovel detective story tonight?
Well, it's a case I worked on during the recent cold spell we had here in California. I call it the case of the man who burned his sweetheart's body in the fireplace, or I've got my love to keep me warm.
Oh, shut up and let's get on with the case. Come on.
The makers of Smudge Pot cigarettes present the adventures of Sam Shovel, private detective. But first, a word about Smudge Pot cigarettes. You can easily recognize Smudge Pot cigarettes. They're 11 inches long. Of course, we also make the king size. And now a word to our lady smokers. Smudge Pots, ladies, do not contain apple honey. If you want apple honey, get an apple honey. And now let's listen, folks, to what a tobacco warehouse man has to say about the tobacco that goes into Smudge Pot cigarettes.
If you all don't get that tobacco out of my warehouse, I'm going to call the Board of Health.
At auction after auction, the makers of Smudge Pots have put in the highest bids. So far, they have bought 800 watches, 35 sets of living room furniture, carpets, and drapes. If they ever go to a tobacco auction, brother, will we have a cigarette. And now your favorite detective program. Here he is, Sam Shovel, private detective.
Yes, I'm Sam Shovel. Sam Shovel, private detective. I'm grilling a suspect in my little office. Tell me, who killed Dave the Dip? I know you did it. Speak up. So you won't talk, eh? I'm trying to wring a confession out of him. Giving this guy the third degree don't do no good. He's been hit on the head with a rubber hose so much he don't get his hair cut no more. He just has his head retreaded. Looks good, too. He's got gray temples with white sidewalls. I've decided to forget about this guy. I got more important stuff to work on. The studio called me today. They want me to find Sidney Greenstreet. They can't find him. They looked everywhere. It seems he just disappeared into fat air. Well, back to work now. I'm on a very baffling case. I've been trying to find the solution, but I've been barking up the wrong tree. For weeks now, I've been barking up the wrong tree. I didn't solve the case, but I made friends with a very nice Cocker Spaniel. I've been getting a lot of new cases lately. Sam Shovel speaking.
Hello, Detective Shovel. This is Mrs. Fields. Did you trail my husband last night?
I did, Mrs. Fields. I'll read you the report. Your husband went to 3 nightclubs, 6 different bar rooms, 4 cocktail lounges. Then at 1 o'clock this morning, he drove up to Mulholland Drive.
My goodness, what was he doing?
Following you. Well, I guess I'll knock off work now for a few minutes and have my lunch. I've got a sandwich in my pocket. Ah, there it is, my favorite sandwich. Tuna fish salad with sliced tomatoes and pickles. Just dripping with mayonnaise. I'm going to eat this sandwich the hard way. The hard way. Without bread. Now for a smoke. I decide to light up a white owl. Putting down the white owl, I reach for a cigar. I got a slight cold this morning when I came to the office. I blew my nose. Haven't seen it since. Wonder where I blew it. Well, it's about time for my pal Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad to show up. Lieutenant Abbott only has one weakness. When he takes a drink of bourbon, it goes to his head. It's got to go to his head. His body is filled up with scotch.
Hello, Sam. Sam, congratulate me. I just broke an important case.
Which case, Lieutenant?
Remember the crooks? Shack I broke into and found 50 gallons of green ink, a bundle of paper cut the size of dollar bills in a printing press?
Yes, that was 3 months ago.
Well, this morning, I convicted that crook of counterfeiting.
Brilliant work, Lieutenant. When did you first suspect he was a counterfeiter?
A year ago, he came into my office and confessed. Any other new cases, Sam?
Yes, last night I got a job guarding the bodies in the funeral parlor.
That must have been a pretty lonesome job.
Yes. I got so lonesome that I played gin rummy with one of the corpses.
You idiot. Corpse can't play gin rummy.
Then how come I lost $18?
Talk sense, Sam. I got word today from the state prison that Melvin Hot Rod, the reckless driver, goes to the electric chair at midnight tonight. You worked on that case, didn't you?
Yes, Melvin Hot Rod knocked off 6 pedestrians in the safety zone. But they can't send him to the chair. I've got some new evidence that will prove him innocent.
What evidence?
I found out that Melvin didn't have a driver's license.
Then he's innocent. Sam, we've got to stop the execution. How can we do it?
I know one man that could save Melvin from the electric chair. Come on, Lieutenant. We're off to the state prison. Lieutenant Abbott and I arrived at the state prison. In this prison are confined the toughest criminals in the country.
Let me out of here! I want to get out of here!
Lieutenant, this is really a tough prison. Just listen to that guy.
Please get me out of here! I can't stand it! Let me out!
Sam, lots of guys in prison act that way. What makes you think this prison is so tough?
That's the warden.
Here's the guard captain's office, Sam. Let's go in.
Nice to see you, Lieutenant Abbott. You too, Detective Shovel. All right, what's on your mind, boys?
Sam is here to see prisoner Melvin Hot Rod.
Oh, yeah, goes to the chair tonight. We've got him in solitary. He's on Melba toast and water.
Don't you mean bread and water?
No, he's on a diet. All right, step this way, gentlemen.
Say, what's going in there?
Oh, those prisoners are working. They're making California license plates.
Why are they hitting them with hammers and bending them all up?
Well, today we're making license plates for Los Angeles drivers, and we'd like them to match the cars. By the way, what did you want to see prisoner Hot Rod about, Mr. Shovel?
I'm here to stop the execution. You can't electrocute him.
Who says so? Have you an order from the governor?
I got a more important man than that who will stop you from electrocuting Hot Rod. He'll be here in a minute.
This is ridiculous, Sam. Hot Rod goes to the electric chair in 5 more minutes, and you can't stop this electrocution.
He's right, Sam.
Oh, yes? Here's my man now. He'll stop it.
I get here in time, Sam?
Wait a minute. Who is this guy?
He's the man that will stop you from electrocuting Hot Rod. His name is Alec.
Alec who?
Electrician. He's from the light company.
From the light company?
You ain't paid your bill. In 3 months, and he's going to turn off your electricity. Get him out of here!
Now, before Abbott and Costello have their final fling, we bring you one more thought on this subject.
Before we say goodnight, Lou, why don't you tell the folks about your Sam Shovel story for next week?
Well, I will. Folks, next week my Sam Shovel case will be a mystery story. I call it the case of the beautiful red-headed lady cook who fell into a pot of boiling goulash. Oh, there's good stews tonight.
This great mystery is now being written by our writers. Our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman with Paul Conlon, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Len Stern.
And our producer is Charles Vander. See you next Thursday.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody at Patterson. Good night. Good night.
Listen each Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
Oh, slapstick at its best. 75 years ago, March 24th, 1949, Bud Abbott, Lou Costello. In just a moment, we will take you to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, and see how the crime wave is being resolved with Lum and Abner.
Ladies and gentlemen, last year's traffic death toll was 37,500. A 7% increase over 1950. The National Safety Council believes that the best way to promote safety on the road is for each of us to know and obey traffic laws, to read and heed traffic signs. So be careful. The life you save may be your own.
And now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, let's go to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, and see what's going on with Lum and Abner in this episode from 82 years ago today, March 24th, 1942.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. Say, folks, did I ever tell you anything about our friend Abner's home down in Pine Ridge? Well, it's one of the nicest, homiest places you'd ever want to see. Of course, it's quite old-fashioned in some respects, but in one way at least it's as up-to-date as the most modern apartment on Park Avenue. For in Abner's home, you'll find a package of friendly, dependable Alka-Seltzer tablets. You see, folks in big cities and little towns, in all walks of life, have learned the wisdom of always keeping a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets handy in their homes. Now, there's a real peace of mind that comes with having Alka-Seltzer handy, because then if a headache, acid indigestion, or a cold makes you feel wretched, it's so easy to get quick, pleasant relief the Alka-Seltzer way. So why put off trying it any longer? Remember, you can get Alka-Seltzer at all drugstores, either by the package or by the glass at the soda fountain. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Abner escaped the long arm of the law when his letter to the mail-order house containing counterfeit money was returned for insufficient postage. However, things look no brighter for Lum and Cedric. Cedric is still in jail at the county seat, while Lum, who is out on bail, is preparing to go to court tomorrow. He has been charged with operating a large counterfeiting business. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store. Lum is trying to straighten up his affairs so that he can leave the store in Abner's charge. Listen.
And I reckon you may as well throw these away, too. They're just old bills, and they might confuse you. Go ahead and throw them in the stove.
Well, I hate to be going through all our old papers and stuff this way.
Abner, we got to get everything straightened up and put in order so you can carry on alone.
And don't keep saying alone. That sounds like you ain't never coming back.
Well, maybe I ain't. I don't know.
Oh, now don't feel that way. You ain't as bad off as Cedric. He's still locked up there in jail. His papa won't bail him out.
Yeah, but they might put me in the penitentiary for life instead of just for a few days. Don't forget, I'm the head of a big counterfeiting ring.
No, you ain't. Diogenes Smith is.
Yeah, but I'm the one that's accused of it.
Yeah.
And long as nobody knows where Diogenes is at, I don't know how to prove that I ain't the head of it. And I almost wish I was guilty.
Was guilty?
Well, then I wouldn't feel so bad about getting sent to the penitentiary.
Well, now, maybe they won't send you there long. You don't know what they're going to decide at your hearing tomorrow.
No, but I got a pretty good idea. About the only chance I got is that lawyer feller Squire's going to get from me wins the case. And I ain't heard from him yet, so I reckon that's out.
Well, Squire had to go to the county seat to see him. Maybe he ain't back yet.
Oh, he's had plenty of time to get back. He went yesterday.
Yeah, well, even if you don't get the lawyer, I still think you got a chance, Lon.
No, I ain't, Abner. I know I ain't, 'cause I found out something else.
Something else?
Yeah, you know them fellers in other towns I was delivering packages of pamphlets to?
Yeah.
Well, they caught one of them fellers, and they taken some fingerprints off of the package. And natural, they turned out to be mine.
Well, they can't do nothing to you for just delivering pamphlets on the right living, can they?
Them weren't pamphlets in them packages.
Huh?
Diogenes said they was. All that time I was delivering counterfeit money and never knowed it.
Oh, my goodness.
Not only that, they showed a picture of me to this fella they caught, and he identified me as the leader of the counterfeiting outfit.
Why, that snake in the weeds.
So, you can see I'm a goner, Abner. They've done framed me, that's what they did.
Framed you?
Yeah, they done a good job of it, too.
Well, I'm glad they at least done that. Is that for the post office?
The post office?
Yeah. Ain't that where they're going to put it?
Put what?
Why, that picture of you they framed.
I never said nothing about no picture.
Why, you did, done it. You said they had a picture of you that they showed to that feller they caught, and then you said they framed it. So I just allowed they's going to hang it up in the post office.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I know that's where they hang pictures of other criminals. I've saw 'em. Don't you recollect that relay to Snake Hogan's that was mixed up in a bank robbery once?
Yeah, but
well, that's where they hung his picture, right there in the post office. Fact is, they had two pictures of him, a front view and a side view. Awful good likeness of him.
I know, I saw them pictures, but I never meant to.
Oh, Snake was awful proud about that. I recollect he used to stand there in the post office for hours at a time, admiring them pictures of his relay. He never could decide which one of 'em he liked the best.
Well, I don't care whether
One
he
day
decided.
he'd like the front view best, and then the next day he'd turn right around and pick the side view.
Listen, Abner, when I
Awful
said...
changeable fella, that Snake. And when they finally caught his relay, why, they had to take his picture down, and Snake asked him for it. And then took him home and hung him up there in his room. His little boy used to look at him and call him Uncle 78092. You know what, Lum?
What?
He still can't decide which one of them views he likes the best.
Well, that's too bad, ain't it? I'm awful sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a terrible problem he's got there.
Oh, my, yes, worries him. I hope they only put up one picture of you in the post office. I don't want to have that same trouble.
Abner, they ain't going to hang no pictures of me in the post office. They've done catched me.
Well, where are they going to hang them then?
Well, when I said I was getting framed, I meant that this was a case of being railroaded.
Railroaded?
Yeah.
You mean they're going to hang your picture in all the trains?
Oh, my goodness, I know I oughtn't have said that. Of course not.
Oh, sure, in streetcars.
Streetcars?
Yeah, don't you recollect that time me and you was in Kansas City and rode on that streetcar? They had pictures up all along the top of the car. Recollect we got so interested in reading what was wrote on them that we went clean past where we was supposed to get off. Recollect?
Yeah, but them wasn't photographs of criminals.
Huh?
Them was advertising pictures.
Oh,
Soap
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. I recollect now. Well, I wouldn't think they'd want your picture for
Help
advertisement, Lum. Feller that's going to the nothing.
Go ahead and say it, a feller that's going to the penitentiary.
Well, I never meant that exactly, Lum.
It's the truth, though, May as well face it.
Ah.
If the shoe fits, put it on.
Yeah, but Llama... Huh?
I say if the shoe fits, put it on.
Now, listen, Lom. I don't want your shoes. Now, you'll need them in the penitentiary. And they won't fit me no ways, Lom. I might not get both feet in one. No, you take them shoes with you, Lom. You don't want to go barefooted just 'cause you're in the penitentiary.
I ain't talking about giving you my shoes. I just said if the shoe fits, put it on.
Oh, shoes. Is that what you're advertising, shoes?
Oh, for goodness sake.
What kind of shoes? Them heavy work shoes?
Granny, this is going too far, Abner.
Huh?
Here, I got one day left to be a free man, and I have to spend it arguing with you.
Well, Lom, I weren't arguing. You just said they was going to use your picture in the streetcars for advertising.
That's our ring, thank goodness.
Huh?
You answer it and give me a few minutes of rest and quiet here.
Well, sure, I'll get you set down. Now, take it easy, Lom. I know you're tired.
I hope it's Mr. Adams saying they're going to take me to the penitentiary right now and not have no trial. Anything would be better than this.
Hello. Jot 'em down, store and library. Abner Peabody doing the talking. Wonderful world.
And don't say wonderful world no more.
Cross out that wonderful world. Huh? Who? Oh, hello, Squaw. I never knowed you. Yeah, he's here. Oh, you do, huh? Yeah, well, just a minute, then. Just a minute. It's for you, Lom.
Granny's, maybe you got that lawyer after all. Give me that phone quick.
Yeah, here.
Hello? Hello, Squire? This is Lom.
I don't need his shoes to wear around.
You did?
They might fit Elizabeth. They'd be big for me.
Well, good. Huh?
You can wear them there in the field.
Oh. Uh-huh.
They can half-sole them.
Yeah.
I could get her to half-sole mine while she's at it, too.
I see. Well, all right, Squire. Oh, no, I ain't blaming you none. Yeah, I know. Well, much obliged anyway, Squire. Goodbye.
What'd he say, Lom?
Well, that's the end, Abner. Now, I know there ain't no hope at all.
Well, what'd he say?
He talked to the lawyer.
Yeah.
He won't even take the case.
Oh, he won't, huh?
That shows you right there how much of a chance they got. The lawyer won't even try to defend me. Here I am, an innocent man, getting convicted of a crime I never done.
Well, now, Lom, you ain't convicted of nothing yet. Maybe the hearing tomorrow will turn out different than you think.
Yeah, it's no use trying to cheer me up, Abner. It's nice of you, but I'm a goner. I know that.
Prattle.
You'll write to me once in a while, won't you?
Why, sure, I'll write you, yeah.
I think the warden will let me receive a few letters.
Oh, sure, old man Bates writes to his boy all the time there.
You can tell me all that's happening at the store here and all. And here, Abner, I want you to have this.
Oh, now, Lum, I don't want to take your elk's tooth.
Go ahead and take it. Keep it as a sort of a token of our long-standing partnerships here in the store.
Aw.
And here, take this watch chain over to Dick Huddleston. He always admired it so much.
Lum, now, I don't want to be taking all your things.
Well, I won't need 'em no more. Fact is, we should take that chain over to Dick right now so you can give him my forwarding address.
Forwarding address?
Yeah, tell him if any mail comes to the post office for me, just send it on to the, well, you know where.
Yeah, penitentiary.
Would you do that for me?
Why, sure will. I'll do it right now. While I'm over, I'll look and see if they got 'em up yet, too.
Got 'em up yet? Got what up?
Why, them pictures of you they framed.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I might now, sure, that's where they'll hang 'em instead of a streetcar line. I'll look around for 'em.
Yeah, you look around, and if you see 'em, let me know, and I'll come over and autograph 'em for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll let you know right away.
Yeah, do that.
I'll be back quick as I can. Wonderful world.
Yeah. Ain't it, though?
Hey, Mr. Long. Mr. Long.
Huh? Who said that?
It's me, Mr. Long, Cedric.
Why, Cedric, how'd you get in here?
I sneaked in through the window.
Well, for goodness sakes, ain't you supposed to be in jail at the county seat? Your papa ain't bailed you out yet, has he?
No, Mom, I broke out of jail. Or that is, I just walked out when nobody wasn't looking.
Hi, Granny, Cedric, you can't do that. You better get right back to jail. This is against the law. They can put you in jail for this.
Well, wait, I got something to tell you, Mr. Long.
Something to tell me?
Yes, Mom, I better whisper it to you, though I don't want nobody to hear it. Listen.
No.
Yes, Mom.
Hi, Granny Cedric, that's a great idea. A great idea.
Folks, when you buy vitamins, you should know exactly what you get for your money. And now that there are two kinds of one-a-day brand vitamin tablets, the A&D tablets and B-complex tablets, you ought to know what each of these two different tablets contain. First, one-a-day vitamin A and D tablets. Well, friends, each tablet is as rich in vitamins A and D as 1 1/2 teaspoonfuls of United States Pharmacopoeia minimum cod liver oil. Now, that means 5,000 units of vitamin A and 500 units of vitamin D, or 25% more than your basic normal daily needs. So to meet these normal requirements, just one tablet a day is all you need, and one tablet a day is all you take. Remember, that's one-a-day brand vitamin A and D tablets. And now for one-a-day brand vitamin B-complex tablets. The same brand name, the same one-a-day convenience, but an entirely different group of vitamins. The B vitamins, which are also essential to your bodily well-being. Each tablet contains 333 United States Pharmacopoeia units of vitamin B1, 2,000 micrograms of vitamin B2, 10 milligrams of nicotinamide, and 250 micrograms of vitamin B6. So when you buy A and D and B-complex vitamins, ask your druggist for both. One-a-day vitamin A and D tablets in the yellow box, and one-a-day vitamin B-complex tablets in the gray box. Be sure to look for that big 1 on both packages.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to wait till at least Tuesday to see what Cedric said. March 24th, 1942, 82 years ago, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow, the Royal Gelatin Hour starring Rudy Valley, the Lux Radio Theater starring Frederick McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck as they reprise their roles in the motion picture Remember the Night, and the final episode of Claudia. That'll be coming up on our Monday show. Have yourself a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.